Cotton, the soft white fiber that clothes billions today, has a history as rich and vast as human civilization itself. Among the oldest cultivated crops in the world, cotton's story begins in the fertile lands of the Indian subcontinent, where evidence shows that India was indeed one of the earliest, if not the earliest, cradles of cotton cultivation. But how did this humble plant, grown thousands of years ago along the Indus River, travel across continents, shape economies, inspire innovations, and even ignite revolutions? Let's dive into the fascinating journey of cotton. Archaeological discoveries suggest that India was cultivating cotton as far back as 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. Excavations at Mehrgarh, in present-day Pakistan, and Mohenjo-Daro, Indus Valley Civilization, unearthed cotton threads dating back to circa 6000 BCE. Ancient Indian farmers domesticated Gossypium arboreum and Gossypium herbaceum, two species of cotton native to South Asia. Indian weavers were already producing fine cotton fabrics by the 3rd millennium BCE, which were highly sought after even in neighboring civilizations. The Greek historian Herodotus, 5th century BCE, described India as a land where trees bore wool more beautiful and useful than that of sheep. This early acknowledgement highlights India's dominance in cotton production thousands of years ago. Cotton was not just an agricultural product in ancient India. It became deeply tied to culture, economy, and identity. Spirituality and rituals. Cotton garments were often used for religious ceremonies and rituals, as they symbolized purity. Textile innovation. Indian artisans developed advanced techniques like spinning, weaving, and dyeing long before many other civilizations. Famous fabrics. India became known for muslin from Bengal, calico from Calicut, and chintz from Andhra and Gujarat, all products that would later dominate global markets. By around 1500 BCE, India's cotton fabrics were already being traded as far as Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean, making India an early global textile hub. The journey of cotton from India to the rest of the world is a story of trade, migration, conquest, and cultural exchange. To Mesopotamia and Egypt, 3000 BCE onwards, cotton fabrics from India reached Mesopotamia through overland trade routes. In Egypt, where flax and linen dominated, cotton arrived much later, around 500 BCE, likely via Indian and Persian traders. Eventually, Egyptian elites began wearing Indian cottons because of their softness and breathability in the hot climate. To China and Southeast Asia, 1st millennium BCE. Through the Silk Road and maritime routes, Indian cotton textiles found their way to China around 200 BCE. Indian merchants carried cotton fabrics to Burma, Thailand, Indonesia, and Cambodia, where local artisans began integrating Indian weaving styles into their traditions. To the Mediterranean and Europe, Roman period. By 100 CE, the Roman Empire had fallen in love with Indian cotton. Roman traders imported cotton fabrics via Egyptian ports and Arab intermediaries. Cotton became a luxury commodity for Roman elites, alongside Indian spices and gemstones. The Arab influence, 7th to 11th century CE. The rise of the Islamic caliphates accelerated cotton's spread. Arabs learned cotton cultivation techniques from India and introduced the crop across Persia, North Africa, and Spain. Arabic words like kutun eventually became cotton in English. Cities like Baghdad and Cairo became thriving centers of cotton trade during the medieval era. To the Americas, 16th century onwards. While native cotton species existed in Mesoamerica, it was the European colonization of the Americas that transformed cotton into a global economic force. The Portuguese and Spanish brought Indian cotton fabrics to the New World in the 1500s. Later, the British introduced large-scale cotton plantations in the Americas, fueled by enslaved labor, to meet the surging demand in Europe. By the 17th century, Indian cotton textiles had become world-famous. Europe's growing demand for muslin, calico, and chintz transformed Indian ports like Calicut, Surat, and Masulipatam into bustling centers of commerce. However, this success attracted European colonial powers. The Portuguese were the first to monopolize Indian cotton trade routes in the 16th century. The Dutch and French followed, but it was the British East India Company that eventually took control. By the 18th century, Britain had flooded India with machine-made textiles from Manchester and Lancashire, devastating India's traditional weaving industry. Ironically, cotton, once India's symbol of prosperity, became a tool of economic exploitation under British rule. Cotton played a pivotal role in the Industrial Revolution, 18th–19th century. British inventors created machines like the spinning jenny and power loom to mass-produce cotton textiles. Raw cotton from India and later American plantations fueled Britain's factories. Indian weavers, once global leaders, were systematically marginalized as Britain turned India into a supplier of raw cotton rather than finished goods. Today, cotton is grown in over 80 countries worldwide, with India, China, the US, Brazil, and Pakistan being the top producers. But India still maintains a special place. India remains one of the largest producers and exporters of cotton globally. Traditional Indian fabrics like muslin, ikate, and khadi have made a cultural resurgence. Sustainable cotton farming and organic textiles are now shaping India's role in the global fashion and textile industry. In conclusion, India was indeed the birthplace of cotton cultivation and the pioneer of textile craftsmanship. From the looms of the Indus Valley to the markets of Rome, from the Silk Road to the mills of Manchester, cotton has been a silent force shaping trade, culture, economies, and even revolutions. Even today, every time we wear a cotton garment, we're unknowingly part of a story that began thousands of years ago in India, a story of innovation, adaptation, and resilience. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.